You have the ultimate computer rig, complete with multiple monitors, gaming mice, and a mechanical keyboard with your favorite switch type. I really like these silent reds. And then there's your work laptop. I know that I'm not the only one that ended up hunched over a tiny laptop after the pandemic first started to force working from home. I have this awesome desktop I built for trading and gaming, but no easy way to switch it over to my laptop. So I embarked on the great journey to integrate my laptop as seamlessly as possible into my trading setup. And over the past 2 years, I've had many false starts. That is until TESmart sent me this KVM switch to test out. I know which side. You want to see that side? Here, you look at it there. Here's that way. Here's this way. It's really quite lovely. A KVM switch is a device that seamlessly shares keyboard, video, and mouse between multiple machines. See, that's what KVM stands for, right? Keyboard, video, mouse. So anyways, did I find the Holy Grail? Well, find out on today's episode of Accessories for Productivity. Look, it's a working title, okay? So the KVM switch that I'm reviewing is a TESmart dual monitor HDMI 2.0 switch. This allows you to share two monitors connected via HDMI between two computers, and it retails for $240. Of course, me being the Scrooge that I am, I've tried just about every other solution I could possibly find in an attempt to save money before I tried this. So of course, you can just switch the cables over manually. Yeah, that lasted about a day. You can also try these cheap USB switches, which many of my coworkers are using. So this doesn't handle your display, but it will switch over your USB devices. But personally, I found this blasted thing to be annoying AF. When you switch, it takes forever for your new machine to recognize the new keyboard and mouse, and sometimes it just switches on its own. I guess it has this feature where it will automatically switch if it detects the other computer turning on, but sometimes it just decides to switch for no apparent reason. Not to mention that it does nothing for your monitors. I found that I could connect two inputs into my monitor and switch between them with the OSD menu button. It does work, but it's pretty clumsy. So yeah, I was pretty unsatisfied with this solution. So after dealing with that for 2 years, I'm pretty excited to try out a KVM switch. Not only will this one device handle all the switching, but it will be able to switch machines with a simple keyboard hotkey. So there's no more reaching all the way over here to push a tiny button on the switch. Now, the first hurdle you're going to face with a KVM switch is getting the right one. So I would recommend taking careful inventory of the inputs you have available on your monitors and the outputs on your video card. And I'd particularly pay attention to that video card because most video cards will be one way or the other. You'll have like 3 HDMI ports and 1 display port, or you'll have 3 display ports and 1 HDMI port. By the way, you've got 2 main choices, right? Display port and HDMI. So what's the difference? Why are there 2 standards? And what it really comes down to is the 2 standards were developed by different industries. HDMI was developed by the home theater industry, whereas DisplayPort was designed for high resolution / refresh rate computer desktop displays. So naturally, we'd prefer DisplayPort, right? If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, dual DisplayPort KVM switches are just much harder to come by these days. They require different components and more shielding, which are hard to get in the age of supply shortages. TESmart does have a switch that is half DisplayPort and half HDMI, but we decided to just stick with HDMI. HDMI 2.0 is able to push resolutions of 4K 60, and it should still be able to handle my 1440p 144Hz monitors. So I thought that all of my monitors had HDMI 2.0, but apparently this middle monitor here only has DisplayPort. It's a little older, so we'll connect up the 2 outside monitors instead, and maybe I'll change things around later. I also only have 1 HDMI port on the back of my personal PC, so I got this DisplayPort to HDMI active converter. And again, remember, it needs to be HDMI 2.0. I'll use that on this side over here with the cheaper monitor so that we can test this high refresh rate Dell over here with just pure HDMI and without this in the chain. So let's get things hooked up. The device is fairly long. It will have a big footprint on my desk, but I think I have room for it. We'll just put it right here where I can still kind of touch it, because there is a button on the front if you want to use that. Crap. Oh. Okay, so I think we're gonna put it right here. Ooh. Okay, so let's start with keyboard and mouse. No, it's the wrong way. Now, one of the things I really like is the cords the device comes with. You get these cables with the USB and HDMI bundled together to avoid clutter, because believe me, there is plenty of that back there. And then 2 additional just regular HDMI 2.0 cables. Now, for HDMI 2.0 to work, everything in the chain has to be HDMI 2.0. So it's nice that it comes with cables that you know will work. Okay, so moment of truth. No, control 2. It worked, did it work? We got it on the first, did we really get it on the first try? No. What the heck? Wait, that is not right. What? What the heck? Look at this. I'm pushing A and it's giving me M. What the heck? What is this? Yeah, the keyboard is not working at all. Here's that manual. Note, for the best compatibility, it is better to turn on keyboard and mouse pass-through mode. How to identify whether KVM is in keyboard and mouse pass-through mode. Press scroll lock F3. That is not making any sounds. Well, if it's except seeing the wrong, okay, wait, I have an idea. Unplug this, plug in. Now let's try it. Ah, that one works. Okay, so I think that now I got the keyboard that, if this keyboard works. So I think if I do, now I can hear the sound. So I do F2, and now if I make the sound again, so now if I switch the other keyboard back, will it work? Okay, so I had to get a different keyboard out to be able to switch the compatibility mode. But then once I switched the compatibility mode, it worked, and then I could switch back over to the other keyboard. Okay, so let's try doing the switches. Hey, I mean, it's not instant, but it's faster than what I had before. I go back. I mean, it takes it a few seconds, but it does work. And there's also, so there's also this third mode where I can get computer 1 on this screen. Come on. There you go. Computer 1 on this screen and computer 2 on this screen. Got the mouse over here, and then I press Alt twice, and it's over here. Oh, and that is practically instant. That is completely seamless. It's not all perfect though. The first problem I've had is with the refresh rate on this Dell monitor over here. The monitor supports 144 refresh rate, and when I go into the options, I can choose 60 Hertz or 144 Hertz. When I switch it to 144 Hertz, it seems to work okay, but as I start moving things around, the screen will flicker in and out. So we tried a few things to debug it, made sure it was all HDMI 2.0 all the way down the chain, using only the cables that came with the device and everything. Apparently though, the device only supports 100 Hertz and not 144 Hertz. It kind of almost worked though, so your mileage may vary. Using a converter to switch between DisplayPort and HDMI also seems to mess up the EDID. This is a feature that emulates the display being on to the computer that is not active, so that it thinks the display is still connected. That way, switching won't mess up the arrangement of windows or desktop icons or anything like that. And yeah, that's kind of annoying. So I'm not going to say that I found the holy grail, but it is pretty darn good. The ability to switch between machines quickly with a keyboard press in particular is incredibly useful. I often find myself doing research on my desktop because the work firewall is way overly sensitive and blocks even coding blogs. So being able to quickly switch over without even having to move my hands off the keyboard is incredibly useful. So even though it doesn't appear that a perfect solution to my setup is available, it's well worth the $240. Like really, I feel silly messing with that stupid USB switch all this time. So what do you guys think? What's been your experience with working on multiple machines? Between the trading and programming we do on this channel, we have pretty demanding desktop computer needs, and that makes us a good test case for productivity products. So if you have ideas on other products we should test, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, I'll see you during the morning live streams at 8:30 Eastern time every weekday. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends, or at least don't lose it all.